welcome to a brand new episode of FGCism. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
And we're welcoming ourselves back from a long stint thanks to COVID-19.
Yes, the COVID Cup 2020 is finally letting up. We have finally gotten into top 8, and we might be able to beat this thing.
Hopefully. Jesus, this has been such a long wait. The last episode was like all the way in February. I don't remember what February was like. It's been that long.
Man, we were optimistic. We still had smiles on our
had
faces,
hope,
bells on our heels,
hopes and
ready
dreams
for the months ahead, saying 2020 is my year.
Man, everybody said that.
And then 2020 happened.
It was like, nah, fam.
And now, for years to come, when someone says, hey, I don't have 2020 vision, we're all going to collectively flinch.
Yeah. That PTSD gonna come in immediately.
Right. We're gonna look at our houses and just be like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to see these walls anymore. These walls have seen me too much.
God. More than that, like the FGC has been pretty
crunchy.
Yeah, it's been one of those type of
gross.
It's been a situation where since there's been a lack of people-to-people interactions, there's been way more online activity, and thus people have been acting out of their fucking body. Oh, I shouldn't have cursed that much. I'll have to edit that out. Well, anyway, I'm about to bleep it.
Are we doing bleeps?
No.
Yo, we doing bleeps?
No, we're not doing. I'm not gonna bleep all this stuff. I'm bleeping that.
Weak.
Look, editing this is not easy, okay?
Well, I'm not saying it is, but I thought we had bleeps in here, man.
That's a lot of work, man. No bleeps. You supposed to got that sound machine. Where is it?
Huh. That was a thing, wasn't it?
It sure was.
I mean, I could download one.
Not now.
Fine.
Huh. So what have you been playing with fighting games? Have you been playing?
Dragon Ball FighterZ. Because me and Street Fighter Online have not been getting along.
Woof. Yeah.
So I went to Dragon Ball FighterZ since UI Goku dropped. And I was like, wow, he's pretty fun.
Yeah, the Street Fighter patch that supposedly fixed the online. The last time I played it was like months ago because I was like, let me try to see if the online is better. Man, that was a terrible decision. Worst decision ever. Never again. I haven't played Street Fighter probably in 3 months. Yeah.
The only time I played it is when I get invited by some people. Usually on Wednesdays, much like this one, where certain members of the Chicago community are like, hey, I'm hosting a Wednesday night fights. You want to fight? And I'll be like, sure. And then we all collectively agree that these connections are ass.
Yeah. And we're in the same city.
Like, these connections are held together by Tweed. Somehow I've had more success on Dragon Ball Online,
God.
which, as we all know, is delay-based and god-awful, but I have had more smoother connections on that than Street Fighter.
Yikes. The one with the rollback that cover.
Yes. Now, mind you, love Street Fighter.
Yeah.
We will probably play that after this.
Probably. I do.
If only so Michael can play it in an offline setting and I can do the same.
Because it's been so long since I've actually played it.
But I have been playing a lot of Dragon Ball, falling in love with it again, and finally not regretting the purchase.
That's good.
I even got to the point where, like, you know what? I think I will buy those anime music packs because they were on sale for cheap, and I was not going to pay $15 a pack. That's insane.
That's ridiculous. I've been playing Killer Instinct probably the most over the last couple of weeks.
A little jealous.
But that's been
actually amazing.
That's been like the only fight I've actually been playing. Because the online's good and I'm not going to actually play people, so I actually can get better at the game. Because it's hard trying to get better at a fight game if you only play online, especially the online's terrible.
Like, that game has made me strongly consider purchasing a PC.
I mean, that'd be a good option because then you can play other games too.
Yeah, like I am abandoning the Xbox One thing because I'm not paying more than $100 for it.
Yep.
But even if I do, it's like a bad investment at this point.
Yeah, unless you're gonna like really buy old games and stuff and backwards compatibility.
Which I'm not.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. That's what sold me on it. Cause I still got games I want to play like KOF 13. I wish they would patch that game with roll back net code. If they ever did that, God, I'll go back to that game forever. I will never see me again in any other fighting game.
Yeah. See, I feel like that, but with KOF 14, not that I think KOF 14 is the better game, but I don't see them putting it back on PS4.
Yeah. Ugh. They need to do it. Just hire Code Mystics. Just say, hey.
Just do it, man.
They've been doing all those other games. Why not that one too?
Yeah, man. They can do it. They got this. Just plug it in.
But we forgot a really important thing.
What?
Name that frame data. Woo!
Oh, shit. Sorry, I mean, oh, crap.
Shit's okay, because that's PG-13 now. You'll take shit on PG-13 thing.
So then how come that frick word?
That's different. That's higher level cursing.
Frick.
All right, so today on What's That Frame Data, I'm going to ask you, Jago's wind kick, the medium one, is it plus or minus on block?
Ah! This feels like an open book test because if I watch the documentary, I should know this. What did they change? They changed his momentum. I'm going to say minus.
Correct. The wind kick, the medium wind kick is negative on block. Good job.
All right. I remembered.
You did. That's one of your easy ones. I'm like, we just watched that.
I just had to remember it. That's all.
All right, so let's talk about some charity news because that's like the most important thing going on right now. Let's see.
Oh yeah, because charity streams are happening all over the place, man.
Yeah, because right now we're in the midst of probably one of the greatest civil rights movements since the 50s and 60s, I would say.
Which wasn't that long ago, by the way.
It wasn't actually. Wow.
In the grand scheme of our existence, this has not been that long ago. There are people who are still alive to tell the tales.
Yeah. Like my mom.
So, before people tell you to get over it, go ask your grandmother if she's over it yet.
Yeah. She probably has vivid depiction of what happened back then. Let's see. Some notable ones. Amanda Stevens. She's a correspondent and commentator in the FGC. She's hosted the Transitional Combat, which was the charity thing for Street Fighter V that was going towards trans life. They actually raised $12,000. That's a lot of money. So congrats.
Crowdfunding? Yeah, man, that's amazing.
Man, it was a small little tournament too. They made that much money. Like
we been knew that when the FGC wants to crowdfund, they put their money where their mouths
really
are.
do. And there have been other Black Lives Matter streams and stuff too. I think what was it? The Reddit page for Street Fighter did one too. I think it was a pretty decent amount. I think like $6,000 they raised, somewhere around there. They've been quite other ones too, but that was just one I remember off the top.
The FGC will pour money into what they believe in, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
That is one of the better facets of the FGC.
Yeah, that's the good news. Let's
get all warm and fuzzy because
the rest of this isn't all that great. Let's talk about Sonic Fox in a more less than bad light.
Oh wait, that NPC that's in Skullgirls, that guy?
Yeah, that guy.
I heard about him. He's an NPC in Skullgirls, and nobody likes it. Despite the fact that the game is only about 700 strong on Steam, where the patch is, thousands of people hate the idea.
Yikes.
Crazy.
So yeah, Mr. Sonic Fox themselves went on stream to talk about Mortal Kombat 11, and he was doing a tier list for it. They said that I think somebody had given them a type of suggestion for one of the characters or whatnot, and they were like, I'll listen to any of you guys. You guys are like 99% of you guys are suck at this game anyway. This caused quite a stir in the NRS community.
As it often does. And
everybody, a lot of people were upset, but a lot of people understood what he meant because he was saying the more people who are more competitive at the game are trash because they do whine, complain about stuff, and don't lab characters as, I don't think they do it as intensely as they should. Like they're not for some reason the interaction communities don't lab things out enough.
Look, they let Sonic Fox get far in a tournament with Collector.
Yeah. Because nobody fought against Collector, probably.
People are over here thinking, is Collector one of the best characters in the game because Sonic Fox picked them?
He does it all the time. Every game he picks a character nobody really plays or is under, like, appreciated or just not really labbed that much and does very well. So, it doesn't surprise me that he feels this way. Mm-hmm. This ruffles some feathers, though. Like, a lot of people who are, like, really big names, like, oh, he's just being an asshole and they don't know what they're talking about. Specifically, its rival, Perfect Legend didn't like that at all. Perfect Legend felt like he was being disrespectful to the entire community and the people that came before him that were good at the game, too. So what are your thoughts, Anthony, since you played Mortal Kombat Prime way more than I have?
Oh, you hurt your widow feelings?
Yes, their feelings were hurt.
Well, you know, I'm a filthy Jade player.
Jade's not that, like,
people hate Jade.
I feel like everybody hates everybody in the game. Like
the people who hate Jade hate zoning, and I get it, but I don't care.
I don't care.
Boomerangs go burr. So that's that.
You know what's funny? MK's the only game I actually play zoners in. So I noticed, like, when I played MKX, I was playing Tanya, and I played her variant that was more suitable for, like, zoning. And when I played, what's his face? Blind Kenshi. Interesting.
Look, glaives, boomerangs, whatever you want to call them, they go burr.
They go burr.
Oh, you want to counter zone me? I just went purple.
I just went purple. You are terrible.
Hey, my 1% speak for themselves.
But yeah, you think that they whine more than actually do, like, lab characters?
Yes. Not even a question.
Yikes.
I can go on any given day, any given week, and see something about how the high-low mix-up on Sonya is unfair. How Kotal Khan having an unblockable is unfair. How Joker's damage and mix-up is unfair. How it's unfair that Spawn can do this. How Devora can do that. How this is unfair. How that's unfair. Why can Setron keep you out so good? Why did her projectiles do so much shit damage? How come Sub-Zero slide is so good? How come Gears has so many crushing blows? Why can he do so much damage? Oh my god. And it just goes on.
That was a long list already.
It just goes on. And it's not always pros, I'll say that. It's not always pros. Okay?
Okay.
But some of the pros do be out here just kind of like, oh, why? Why can Scarlet keep me out so good? Oh.
You are so rude.
Yeah, I am. But, like, y'all, what? I'll say this. Mortal Kombat has interesting design choices. Like, the fact that projectiles don't clash is something that is bizarre to me still.
It's very bizarre to me as well, but that's just their thing.
It is their thing. And you know what? The size of the screen sometimes can be a little baffling to me too. But I feel like you just kind of get used to these things if you want to play the game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be here like Baraka gets too much easy damage. All right. Why does Baraka get so much easy damage? What setup does he do that makes his damage so easy? Especially in MK11 where characters only got like 2 or 3 good combos.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a combo heavy game. You see one Baraka, you've seen them all. They're gonna do that little 2-hit kick, get the crushing blow, do that little whoop the wazzle, and they're gonna figure out the point where you're gonna. It's like
not the whoop the wazzle.
Some people it's just formulaic, man. It's fine. Like everybody, I feel like Mortal Kombat is a game where the way that you differentiate yourself is how well you know your footsies.
Mm.
It's not going to be the combos you do. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, my Jade would not go far if you know how Jade works. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to spam that low hitting projectile for a bit. And once I get you blocking low, I'm going to do that little thing where it's overhead and I'm going to do my combo and it's going to be great. We'll get some nice damage and whatever. By now, you know what Jade does. By now, you know what characters do.
You know the Jade game plan?
You know what most characters, especially the popular ones. The only character that I understand people having a hard time with is Jackie. And that's because the way that they let her just do whatever she wants is kind of dumb. But other than that, I mean,
this reparations, that's all.
Like, Sub-Zero, you know the slide is low. Block low.
It's always been low.
Not to mention, if you know you're against an opponent that is like doing slides in neutral, just adjust, man. It's not hard to make adjustments in these games because, I mean, you're not that original doing half the stuff.
Yeah.
You're not. Look, like the Gears stuff. You know what Gears is going to do. Gears is going to grab you all around, and then he's all of a sudden going to do 2-1 into amplify grab, into 3 into amplify grab. It's going to be the same thing all over again. That's the thing I don't understand about this game. People are mad at things that they have seen since this game's inception. Some things have not changed. Gears, as much as he's been changed, doesn't change. Okay? Even Spawn. You know what Spawn does by now.
At least you should.
So it's like, yeah, just lab these characters out there. I mean, some of them are more complex than others, but this I don't think is that complex of a game when it comes down to learning what characters can do, especially since they give you so much information in training. They give you hit advantage, block advantage, startup frames, and all that stuff. They give you frame data, and that's all you need to know. I get it. Games now are all frame data centric, but I personally feel like games have always been that way. We just never had the frame data.
We never had the information in front of us.
I promise you, if we had this kind of information back when, I don't know, Alpha 3 was a thing, we'd be talking about frames and stuff like that in there. It's just that they had other ways of dealing with it, like alpha counters. And the way they deal with it in this game is breakaway, which is now a little bit less useful now that everybody has an armor break.
Well, everybody's armor break move isn't good, though.
Oh, no. Some of them are terrible. Like Sonya's, you might as well just not do it. Just get your uppercut.
Just not do it.
Or who else has a terrible one? Johnny Cage. His is awful.
Well, they nerfed him to hell anyway.
R.I.P. Johnny Cage players.
So, safe to say that Sonic Fox is pretty much around the money with what he said. And he had really good, valid reasons why.
I mean, did he say it in a really inflammatory way? Yeah. But what doesn't he say in an inflammatory way? Y'all know him by now. He's a troll. And he's gay. I'm sorry, they're gay. I
mean, in the grand scheme of things, saying that the NRS community sucks at a game is not that big of a deal.
It's not.
Like,
prove them wrong.
Let's just be honest. Like that.
If you feel some type of way about the way Sonic Fox spoke about them, then prove them wrong.
Just fight them.
Pick up the sticks and prove them wrong.
Fight them in the first of 10.
Right.
They love that. They thrive off that, honestly.
Y'all out here letting a Skullgirls player tell y'all how to play y'all Mortal Kombat game.
Yikes. Actually, he's a DOA player first.
See? Come on.
Well, that's where he really started.
What are y'all doing? DOA?
Which right now, DOA community is in shambles.
Because they still paying $1 for hairstyles.
Even, I mean, outside of that, the game itself just got really just trash.
Yeah, because the online sucks. That online has sucked since like 5.
Yeah. Then they kept making like changes to the gameplay too. It just got worse. Like you have to use meter to sidestep. Come on now. Yes. I'd say to myself, no, I'm good.
You have to pay meter to sidestep in a 3D game.
In a 3D game. Yes. Yes. Imagine that.
Imagine if Tekken 7 said you could only sidestep in Rage.
Like, y'all 2D forever. This reminds me of the change when Soul Calibur went to using meters to do guard crush or guard impact.
Everyone disliked that.
That was a bad change. That was terrible.
And they went back on it.
And they fixed it, and now this game is incredible.
So let's hope that they fix it in DOA 7 if that game happens.
If it ever happens. All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is Grand Blue Fantasy. This has now become the neutral fighting game for the FGC. No matter what scene you're from, you should be able to play this game if you have pretty good knowledge of fighting games.
Yes.
So they wanted to print the different factions of the FGC, different type of players, wanted to see who was the best at fighting games in general, and they just found this game to be the most neutral one. And yeah, the Capcom people went against the ArcSys people, or the anime crowd, and they got washed. It was terrible. So now people are saying, are the anime community the best fighting game players in the community as a whole? That's been the question.
I will say this. I respect anime game players because comparatively, they have a lot to manage.
Yeah.
When you think of, let's take the de facto game, Street Fighter. In Street Fighter, you deal with plus frames, minus frames, fireball game, air-to-airs, the V reversals, your V gauge, your meter, EX moves, stuff like that. Okay, but you don't deal with a whole lot like air movement. You don't deal with things like just frames or bursts or just. I feel like anime games are just, well, for lack of a better phrasing, they're built different.
Yeah, they are built with a more a big approach to like complexity.
Let's take Guilty Gear Xrd.
Oh God,
which is actually an easier Guilty Gear than like
Accent Core Plus R, the de facto greatest Guilty Gear ever.
Let's see, they have roaming canceling, they have burst, they have like that blitz thing that people hardly use.
Yeah,
which is like a focus attack,
pretty much.
Air dashing, double jumps, the Gatling system,
dead angle.
Dead angle. I still don't get dead angles.
Yeah, me neither. I'm still like not quite there yet with those.
Of course, the complex combo structures because of things like the variable hit stun.
Not to mention individual character complexity too.
Yes,
but their own individual thing they can actually do.
Okizeme.
Ah, yes.
Yes, Okizeme in anime games, I firmly believe, matter more than other games.
Oh, definitely.
Because you could do a lot of just filthy things in some of these games.
I mean, it's made to be that way. I mean, let's take something a little easier. Let's take BB Tag, Okizeme.
Man, that game's got assists, push blocking. Of course, you got you got the cross change, cross combos, just all sorts of just goofy stuff. In a Street Fighter, you really don't have to deal with things like getting combo from 0 to death.
Yeah.
In BB Tag, one wrong move, you can kill both the characters in a single combo. At least in Street Fighter, you can kind of like mitigate that by proper defense. But if you get caught in some of these games, you're just done.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that's good or bad design, that's up to you to decide. But yeah, man, I see so many videos of people getting caught in a happy birthday, and it's just, and that's it. You can just see it. It's like, no, that's it for them.
One thing I've noticed is that the anime players and like the Marvel players are similar, but I still think that the anime players have a lot more to deal with in terms of like complexity of combat.
Yeah, because Marvel players at least now they've gotten into like air dashes and stuff like that. But I would say that a game like Marvel, I'll even say Marvel Infinite, a game like Marvel Infinite is less complex than, say, the latest Blaze Blue game.
Yeah, oh God. Y'all got this.
Even a simpler game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, I think, is a little more complex than Marvel 3.
Really?
I would say, yeah. Because Marvel 3 has a lot going for it, yeah. It has the push blocking. It has the mobility. It has all sorts of ways for you to get, like, your 0 to death combos. It has its infinites and stuff like that. I don't want to say that much more complex, though. Dragon Ball FighterZ has its own set of complexities. Like, it's a pretty simple game at its core, but as the game has developed, it has gotten a little deeper. Like, it has its own guard canceling. Of course, Super Dash is always going to be a thing that just says screw neutral.
And now they have the new system with the assists, too.
Ah, yes. Now they have multiple assists, where the C assist kind of covers what characters don't have. which is an easy way to get combo extensions. Like characters that are not great, like a Hit. I would put Hit in the team because his C assist is that good.
Huh. I'm starting to think that like I used to always like, oh, anime players are like their own thing, like they only can play anime games, and that's just not true. And now seeing it happen in front of my face, it's like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, man, that's always been a thing. Like people like Kazunoko and Dogura,
yeah,
they came from the anime scene to play games like Street Fighter. They do pretty well.
They do. To be able to play multiple games like that is already a talent that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people who play Street Fighter just aren't good at other fighting games.
Yeah.
Or people who play NRS games aren't good at other fighting games too. Like we've seen people like Perfect Legend try to play Dragon Ball FighterZ and he hasn't done very well. Or people who are good at Killer Instinct aren't good at other fighting games too.
And it happens like that. I mean, sometimes you get used to a certain set of rules and other rules just seem really foreign to you.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not. Or people who play like Tekken aren't good at anything else but Tekken.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that.
It's a specialist game, you know? Some games like Tekken take a lot of work and take a lot of focus, so moving on to other games can be difficult.
Yeah.
It's certainly not a bad thing, but it's hard to argue that anime game players are a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, I think they have to be because every anime game is usually very different than the other one.
Oh yeah, I mean you get some things you can take with you from game to game, but not a whole lot. Like I do not expect to be able to say I am a great Guilty Gear player, and then I can just go to like
Under Night and Birth,
right? Under Night and Birth and do well. Those rules are different.
Those are very different games. So, but yeah, I think there's some validity to it, and the fact that they actually did it was actually nice too, because they got everybody to see, like, because people put they put Street Fighter such a high pedestal of a fighting game pedigree to where they think like that's the pinnacle of fighting games, which it really isn't. Like,
yeah, we see that
it's the basics of fighting games. Like it's
right, it's the grandfather of fighting games.
Yeah,
it's the fighting game that let fighting games flourish into what they are today.
But it doesn't necessarily give you tools to play every fighting game. I think at least.
No.
Yeah.
Like you are not about to go into that and then play some crazy game like Melty Blood.
Oh God, Melty Blood.
You just aren't doing it.
We need Melty Blood to be remastered and put on PS4. I'm tired of this. I want it.
Please,
just do it. They have the
We're
money
willing
now.
to give you money.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy it. Like, I think $20 would be a good price for it.
I'd pay that.
So I can play that game again. I haven't played it in so long. All right, let's talk about. So since COVID hit, we've had a lack of interactions.
Decorum?
No. We're not talking about that topic. That's going to be last because that's a multi-layered one.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to talk about the online scene has become the new offline scene for most communities and just involved in like tournament and stuff.
Oh, we're going there.
Yeah. Notably, Capcom Cup has decided, we're going to do all our stuff online to varying degrees of success, which will lead straight into EVO Online coming up this year.
Shout out to F-Word and Tyrant having to commentate that like nothing was wrong.
Oh God,
that was not F-Word.
That was painful.
That wasn't F-Word. Man, I get them mixed up a lot.
That was what's his name?
Yammers?
I think it was Yammers. Yeah,
I keep getting them mixed up. I feel bad. But yeah, shout out to those two for having to watch that and act like nothing was wrong.
Yeah,
because my goodness,
the lag, the drops, the teleporting.
If you want to know how it really went down, go look at Angry Bird's Twitter because he was quite vocal.
Of course. I mean, this is his livelihood. He has to be vocal.
Man, and I believe he was playing on the PC version of Street Fighter as well.
Yep.
Because he's made it quite clear that's where he wants to be.
But I don't know, this online scene, I mean, I know it's the only thing we have right now, but it's not looking good, though. Like, it's looking really bad. Like, a lot of these delay-based netcode and really poorly implemented rollback games just don't perform well online. And you got these tournaments with money on the line, and you have so much like.
Remember when people were arguing about how netcode doesn't matter?
Man, remember that whole crowd last year, especially?
Remember how people argued with Sajam when he said you should be demanding more of your fighting games? And people were like, fighting games are fine. What's the problem? Online doesn't matter.
Man.
I remember
too. I watched those episodes. He was the champion for rollback netcode.
Post that aged poorly.
Like, man, now we're at the point where we have to only rely on online, and a lot of it's garbage. Like, I would say 8% of the fighting games right now out have garbage netcode.
Hey, man, what y'all doing online? Playing Tekken?
Oh, God. Tekken
in that online environment?
Speaking of that, remember Harada had the audacity to talk about he had rollback in his game? Boy, if you don't get there's no rollback in Tekken 7. Like, there's just not.
Which is trash.
Like, I can't believe he had the audacity to say. I think it may have been like a translation error or something, or a breakdown.
Like we just can't put it in. Can't do it.
Can't do. All right, Harada.
It wouldn't fix it anyway. What? Y'all playing Under Night and Birth online?
Yo, they need to put that in that.
I'm glad y'all playing that slideshow.
Not slideshow. Speaking of Online and Birth, I remember like a while ago, I think the battle director for Online and Birth was playing Skullgirls online. And he's like, "Oh, we just put this rollback in our game."
Yeah, because it's good.
Please, Jesus. Ooh, if they put rollback in Online and Birth, it's a wrap. I'm playing the game exclusively, probably.
Why not, man?
Like,
at least it'll work.
It's a great game, but it's terrible online. I can't play it online. It's impossible.
Man, what about that Soul Calibur 6? What about that Samurai Showdown?
Okay, that's unplayable.
It really
that's
is.
I can't.
That's why the online for it is dead. Most SNK games that don't have the you either have rollback on the old games or the newer games are just unplayable.
Yeah, I can play Soul Calibur online a little bit. Like, I can forgive it, but no, I can't play the other stuff.
I think the last time I tried to play an SNK game online in earnest was KOF 13. And when I tell you, it took a clean 30 seconds just for the intro to come through.
Yikes.
That was ass. I don't know who at SNK was like, you know what? This netcode is fine. It's great. People are going to play it and they're going to be like, wow, I'm glad I played this online.
No.
And then you play it.
Yeah.
And then it's terrible.
It's pretty awful. Like, it's unbearably awful.
Right, like, I rage quit that game. I was like, I'm not playing 3 rounds of this.
Yeah.
You can have the points, man.
This is so bad because KOF 13 and 14 are both really good fighting games. Like, they're just so, it's just the community so small, it's hard to get matches anyway. Because if you go to locals, a lot of people play KOF in locals. I think I was reading a tweet the other day. Somebody was talking about how, like, why people don't play KOF. And one of the things he said was it has really strict timing for inputs and very strict time for cancels, unlike Street Fighter does.
Yeah, Street Fighter is pretty lax with their cancels.
KOF is very tight. Like, you gotta be right in the frame for it to work.
Which I'm not the most sure about. I haven't had that issue, or maybe, I don't know, maybe my execution is actually pretty decent. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
But
Well, it might be the character, too, because some characters are a little bit easier than hard than other ones. I think Iori has a pretty decent, like, window.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Iori.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, he's just, like, the Shoto of the game, so.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's not a Shoto, because the Shoto is, what's his face? Rio.
Rio
and Robert are the Shotos. But I actually want to play KO. I want to play SNK vs. Capcom now.
I won't lie to you. If they come out and say that Maximum Impact has rollback,
go away.
I will
go
play
home.
the hell
All right,
out of it.
we need to cut this short.
I just want Maximum Impact.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Ruined it.
What's wrong with Maximum Impact?
The game is terrible. Like, you talking about the game is so bad.
Look, okay, all right.
Is it entertaining? Yes.
It has a little jank to it.
A little? It's like I said, we have a little bit of racism going on right now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you segueing?
No. Not yet.
Okay, because I'm just making sure, because you got to prepare me for that.
You will know when we go into that topic.
I'm just saying, man, Maximum Impact it's fun, okay?
It is fun. I still own the game, but this doesn't make it any less jank.
A little jank never hurt anyone.
It's beyond little, though. MK11 is a little jank. That game is like full on like garbage. Like it is complete fighting game.
Wow.
It is the equivalent of eating McDonald's every day.
What?
That's what that game is.
Wow.
Does it taste good? Most of the time. Is it good for you? Hell no. Is it cheap? Yes.
I mean, when you're right, you're right.
Like, I own the game. I played the game for, like, at least a good 2 years. Like, I was legit playing the game for real. That game is so... It's oh, my God. Like, all the idea start... Once I got Theo, it was a wrap. Because she busted. Then my busted character, she's probably one of those busted characters in that whole game.
Look, I just like the game, okay?
I mean, you can like it, but it don't need rollback that code, though. We can prioritize that for other games.
Damn, okay.
I'm scared to see this Capcom Cup. How's it going to end?
Poorly.
It would lag.
Poorly. We're going to have regional champions.
We have to. You can't have somebody from America play somebody from overseas with this netcode. Are you crazy?
Hopefully COVID will have calmed down by then and we can meet in places. Have all the regional champions come into one place.
That would make sense. Well, we have a place like at least 50 people can be at.
Maybe some Brazilians or other South Americans can play.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hopefully they could do that. Maybe
since, they can't play on the online tournaments.
Damn, you right. You was right. Yikes. What do you think about Evo, though? You think it's going to be...
Evo, I thought was going to be a complete trash fire until they did what they did and said, hey, these 4 games with good netcode, we're going to play that.
We're going to roll with them.
They pretty much said, hey, big head to MK11.
Yeah, that was funny.
They just came crawling back. Them's fighting herds. That's going to be funny.
That's going to be hilarious.
What else is there?
We've come full circle with that one because remember they was going to have, what was that game? Find This Magic at Evo?
Mm-hmm.
We've come back full circle.
Skullgirls, it's whatever to me.
Mixed.
But what I'm most excited to see is KOF.
You mean KI?
I sure do mean KI.
You said KOF.
Wow.
Like, KOF is not going to be there.
You're right.
Let's have a trailer for them or something.
But KI, Killer Instinct. I want to see it.
Me too.
Part of me wishes Max would end it, but I know he's not.
He's not.
Which is fine. I hope he would at least commentate.
That would be good if he did commentate.
But either way, I do like seeing high-level KI play.
Yes, it's really exciting.
Even if it's mostly Arbiter.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, if it's not Arbiter, it's Arya.
Oh, yes.
Miss I got, 3 life bars?
That's
the
trash.
whole cast looking at her like, wow, Arya, why did the developers let you have 3 life bars? Ultra Tech go burr.
Ultra Tech go burr. You know what I forgot about?
What?
That Capcom announcement for Street Fighter 5.
Oh, the 5 new characters?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to announce any of them at Evo. They should.
Why not announce all 5 of them?
They might as well.
Just let us buy them.
Just give us a JPEG of each one.
Right. We know who they're going to be already.
Just
Probably.
Probably.
Look.
They say they have announcements to make that whole weekend, so.
Look. Okay, right now. Who are the 5 you think are going to be in there?
Rose probably. Sea Viper. That old man, what was it, Oro. What's the name I'm making that game? I think it's the last person. You said 5. I named 3. I'm missing 2 characters. I think part of me doesn't care, so I'm trying to care now. So I'm trying to figure out who else I want in the game.
No, not who you want.
Oh,
who you think is going to be there.
Yes, they're Oro. maybe DiCaprio because her sprite's already made.
It's already there.
It's already in the game. So I wouldn't put it past him. Just throw it in finally. So that's 4. Who else? I'm gonna I'm gonna say Sean because I want him in the game.
All right.
His sprite's already done anyway.
So our lists are gonna be a little similar. So of course DiCaprio, she's already there. She's already made
in the game.
Oro.
Mm-hmm.
Rolento.
Oh,
I know.
Oh.
I know you hate him, but I've seen all these different like leaks and things, and that doesn't sound too far off.
Please, no Rolento.
Because at least they have a base. Let's face it. This is here only because of the COVID situation. I firmly believe that.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm thinking the characters who have a base. So that also means I think Elena might come back.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
it hurts.
Oh,
it's painful.
Oh no,
it sucks.
I used to love Elena until Street Fighter 4 came out. Like,
now this is my wild pick because I think it's gonna be a new character. It's gonna sound weird, but I firmly believe that one or two characters is gonna happen. Either Rashid's assistant.
Oh, it's
Yes,
that'd be dope.
Or that gorilla thing rolling with Ed and Neo Shadowloo.
Oh, that makes sense because that would just that makes sense. I can see that.
One of those two are happening.
I would love a zombie, and he got a whole character sprite already made.
Yep.
Might as well just put some moves on him.
Make him a whole wind grappler or something.
Oh, I don't know which worse between Elena and Alonso. Both of them I hated in the last game they were in.
I can say Elena's worse.
Oh,
that's my bias because I kind of like Rolento in 4.
Oh, just ruin my mood.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good time to get the bad vibes in because of what we're about to be talking about soon.
I mean, you did mention a black woman, man. Let's talk about racism, man.
That's not the greatest segue we've done.
All right, so aside from just online tournament and stuff happening in quarantine, a lot of people in FGC have been coming out and being complete trash fires. Like, just being complete racist, bigoted, garbage humans for some strange reason. We don't know if it's because of COVID that's bringing it out, or just this is who we've always been, and now we just continue to, front face value. Who knows? So the first one that happened was the low tier god versus Cereblast situation, which was so asinine.
Now we all know the low tier god he's low tier god.
Yeah.
I was gonna do the thing, but I don't want to.
No, please don't. Don't even do it.
All right, but yeah,
you deserve that.
Low tier guy has always been problematic.
Yes,
and at this point, we've all just kind of brushed up and said, "Ha ha! Look at Dalawan Sparrow just be Dalawan Sparrow."
Man, that's such a cool character he plays.
Yeah, that's just a character. But mind you, this man goes on and just says old school racist language. Like, how often are you going to be called a spook by somebody?
Not spook.
Yes.
Yes for spook.
Like, yeah, we all kind of thought he was a meme because he does weird things like pee in bottles and stuff.
That is so gross.
Or suck the grease out of chicken so he can justify eating it.
People who pee in bottles and keep them by their bed is called gross people. And that, a lot of people actually do that.
You?
Like, people are like, yeah, that's what I do. I'm like, you are disgusting. Take your goofy ass to the bathroom.
It can't be that far.
It can't be. I don't care how far it is. The only justification for that I can think of somebody who's maybe disabled or has a hard time walking. I'll give them the benefit of that. Say, hey, yeah, maybe you could pee in a bottle. But the rest of you able-bodied Negroes, get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So low tier God was talking about Cereblast because, Cereblast is doing what Cereblast does.
Pretty much trolling when they were playing Street Fighter 5.
I won't quote him because it's pretty harsh language, but he came out his body with some heavy transphobic stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah Blast, understandably, was not okay with that and decided to put Low Tier God on blast.
Yep, as they should have.
However, Low Tier God's brigade,
the bands,
they uncovered a couple of instances of Sarah Blast saying the N-word.
Yep.
And whoo, it was like watching a landslide. You first saw a couple rocks come down, and Sarah Blast was like, hey, I grew up around black people in New York, and they said it, so I thought it was cool if I said it. And that was one of the first rocks that came down, and then the whole landslide happened when they came out and said, well, maybe if black culture hadn't made me say it, then I wouldn't say it. Black culture needs to tell me not to say it if they don't want me to say it.
It's their fault that I
said
it.
It's black culture's fault because they didn't make it. They made it so it's okay for me to say it. And that was just not the thing to say.
Oh, wow. That was a lot to take in.
So, shortly after, they lost all their sponsorships.
Yep.
Rightfully so. And they were banned from several tournaments. Both Sarah Blast and Low Tier God.
And banned from Capcom Cup. Indefinitely.
Now, of course, this hurt Sarah Blast a lot.
Yep.
This somehow helped Low Tier God a lot more.
Well, he doesn't really travel to tournaments that often, so it's not a big deal for him not to be able to go to tournaments.
Like, I saw the donation pools that were happening for him, and wow.
Yeah. That's so gross.
In short, nobody learned anything. Because Sarah Blast just quietly came back, talked about League of Legends, and it was as if nothing happened. People are still interacting with them like everything is normal, I guess. And, I don't want to make it seem like they should always be like a social pariah, but I see no evidence that anything has changed, personally.
I don't think anything has.
And everybody's just kind of cool with it. So that's what things are with that. And who knew that this would just be the precursor for things to come?
You thought it was just an isolated incident. Like, oh, it's just one off. It's no big deal.
No, because a while after, I won't say soon after because it wasn't that soon, Mike Z.
If you don't know who it is,
Mike Z, Mike Zelmont, whatever. The lead designer of Skullgirls, the little indie game that everybody seems to like, the underdog fighting game.
Yeah.
That is always advertised and stuff, the one with the furry in it.
Yep.
Furry in it. Shortly after the George Floyd murder and the movement of I Can't Breathe, you know what those words mean.
Yep.
Mike here, in a stream with the Purple Sharpie, decided to kind of make a joke likening corner pressure to smothering and saying you could say I can't breathe. Now there was a long uncomfortable pause
Very
afterwards.
Awkward pause.
And Twitter was not happy.
Nope. Not a little bit.
Mike Z put out an apology.
A sketchy one.
Take that for what you will.
I'm taking it as garbage. You can keep it.
And what bothered me more was how the Purple Sharpie, a black woman, was so unwilling to speak out about this issue. Now, I found that to be disappointing because the reasoning was apparently doing so and all this makes the Skullgirls community look bad, which I thought was absurd because who cares right now about that?
That's like the least important thing at the moment.
And that seemed to be the stance they took on it. Sonic Fox came out basically saying, you don't have to forgive Mike. I don't expect anyone to. Mike is just going to have to hold this L.
But he was like, but this is still my friend though. And I think he's a good person and he's contributed to Black Lives Matter, pretty much throwing extra in there. Like, even though he said this is not his track record. He's not a bad person. So, ooh.
I think at this point, a lot of people have just gotten really zero tolerance about this.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone should be blamed for that. I don't think anybody should be talked down to about that, because this is a very sensitive time, and that's a incredibly sensitive topic. Yep. I don't care who you are. You had to have known that was in bad taste.
That was a bad joke. Like, just know. His reasoning was like, "Oh, I'm a bad public speaker. You know, I'm very awkward." And
this
blah,
is just
blah,
bad
blah.
timing. There's no good time for a joke like that. You should know that.
Not you as a white man, especially. You're the last person to be able to make jokes like that. I'm just being completely honest.
And of course, people aren't okay with it. People wanted Skullgirls pulled from Evo, which I don't know if that's going to happen, because let's face it,
there's money
it's not as if Mr. Wiz is exactly the most sensitive when it comes to black issues.
He's not the most socially conscious one of them.
No.
At all.
And we'll circle back around to him in a second.
Ooh.
But basically, Mike Z had to hold that L. The Purple Sharpie continues to shill for Skullgirls.
Yeah.
And life just seems to magically move on because Mike Z made Skullgirls.
Yep, pretty much. It's kind of upsetting because Purple Sharpie's been one of those people that's really vocal about, you know, racial issues in the FGC. So for her, just like sweep under the rug is kind of like disappointing.
Very.
It's very disappointing.
And maybe she's speaking on her own way. The time to speak out most was around that time.
Yeah.
If that was your friend, hold him accountable.
Yeah. Especially you being a public figure in a community that's already having unrest about racial issues.
Like, whether or not you want it to be public or not, you're a public figure and the optics look bad.
Yeah.
And for you to not care, I mean, if you don't care about that, then I guess do what you're doing. But just know how that looks.
Yeah, pretty much. Ugh.
So now, we're moving on to the next big thing. That piece of garbage.
Oh, your fave.
Filth.
You got this one. I'm gonna let you.
Trash.
You've been waiting for this forever.
Human defecation. Pile of excrement. That is Filipino champ. Oh, we skipped a step.
We skipped.
N-word gate.
Oh,
we totally glazed over that.
We can circle back.
We'll circle back.
He said it too, though.
Oh yeah.
So now we'll just talk about it. Yeah, he's been a part of it.
I have hated this gremlin of a man for years, and people thought that I was irrational about it, that I was wrong to hate F Chant, that it was just like, Anthony, you just hate him for no good reason. Well, here he comes with this incredibly stupid picture of a watermelon talking about watermelon lives matter. Of course, he thought that was a little ha-ha funny joke.
He thought that was hee-hee-ha.
He thought it was great. And the community was here to tell him no.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was dumb.
Yep.
That was dumb diddly dumb.
I don't even get what's such a big deal. It's just a watermelon.
And he put up the weakest defense you can put up at a time like this.
It was so bad.
Which was, I'm raised around black people.
I have black roommates.
I was raised around black people. He even went so far as to hop on Twitch with said black people and talk about how he was raised around black people and how he came to this watermelon and how he came to that joke and how it was good. It wasn't a sensitive joke, guys. It was bad timing, guys. Sorry, guys. And so the community at large was not okay with it. There was hardly any defense. And Mr. Wiz, one of the most prominent people in this community.
Yeah.
2 words.
Not cool.
Like he was negan or something.
Not cool.
Not cool.
That's like something you see on like Sonic or something.
Every time I see the words "not cool," I think of Negan.
Not cool.
Like I'm never gonna play Negan the same way again and not laugh. Not cool.
I hate you.
It's fine.
Why did you even bring him up?
Because it's just what came to mind, man. I'm going. Well, we don't script these. What am I supposed to do? Just go. Whatever you get. Whatever. Point being, Mr. Wiz. That's all he had. Not cool. Not a ban. Not reprimanding. Mind you, the reason why this matters is because back with the Sarah Blast case, the first thing he says is that Sarah Blast is no longer welcome at Evo events.
Yep, indefinitely. Here's an email.
Indefinitely. Mind you, other people did too, but they handled the Filipino champ things similarly. Mr. Wiz, not cool.
Yeah, I think the only other tournament that banned Filipino champ was ECT. Was that East Coast Throwdown? Yeah, they banned him forever.
Yeah.
He hasn't been banned from everything else, but Capcom came up and said, you know, guys, we don't like this, so you're not allowed to come back ever?
To Capcom Cup events, which effectively bans him from a great series of tournaments.
Globally. They was like, you can't come to none of our stuff.
Yeah, have fun traveling the world for reasons that's not tournaments, chump.
Yikes. I mean, well deserved, though.
Now, for those who don't know, this is not his first racial offense.
Oh, God, no. It's one of many. He kept saying he wasn't racist. He doesn't say racist stuff. I'm like, there's...
But who?
You can easily find this.
N-word gate showed that isn't quite true.
Yo, N-word gate was not supposed to be funny, but it kind of was funny.
So many tweets brought up of so many people saying the N-word.
Lots of Asian people want to throw it out there.
Filipino champ, James Chen, Spooky, PR Balrog,
Broly Legs.
What?
Yeah, he was on there. He was there. People found his too.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Justin Wong.
Sherry Jennings.
Oh, Sherry Jennings. The best Street Fighter player among us.
Stop that.
We all look to her and her Nakali tech.
Not that.
She was a hero, Michael.
Oh my God. Moving right along.
Sorry. Had to pour one out for my hero there.
Oh, stop it. For my hero.
Point is, a lot of people were being a lot more racist than we thought.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why nobody blew this up is because, admittedly, a lot of these posts were, I think the oldest post was like 2014.
No, that's stuff from like 2011.
Well, you're right. 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Like maybe one or two recent things. I don't think it was that recent though. So it's hard to just be like, in 2012, you said the N-word and make it stick.
Yeah, statute of limitations like limits that type of thing. It's like, okay, what have they done recently? I think if it was like if they did that back then and they still kept saying it even now, or at least like a year ago, then I would have some validity to that. But they haven't said it like a long time. It's probably a good
just
chance.
N-word stuff. I mean, how can we forget the classic moment when Chris G spoke so ill of black women?
Oh God, he's still upset about that. He's like, they won't let me live. Why would he keep bringing it up? I said sorry.
Win a tournament and we might think about it.
Yikes. Oof. Yeah, even Cuddlecore brought it up again recently because they had her show with Alicia, FGC Woke. They went in depth about the whole situation and whatnot, and how she actually went up to him herself and talked to him about it. Because he was like, this is just foul. Like, why are you telling us about black women? Ugh.
Oh, Christopher Gonzalez.
I wonder if he's ever said the N-word. I'm sure he probably has.
Oh, please, I'm sure.
He says the F-word all the time, so. Ugh.
I feel like one of the only people who is pure and devoid of this foulness is like Yipes.
Oh, yeah. Because Yipes is a good person.
Isn't he like Afro-Latino, though?
Yep.
So I guess he could say it if he wanted to. Point is, good guy Yipes is the one we should all be looking towards. Because he's good guy Yipes.
Now, our last portion of this is something that came up yesterday. So, Polygon published an article about the FGC and the black people that are a part of it. Now, of course, everybody's happy. Yay, Polygon, big, publication, decided to talk about black people. People were happy about this. The problem with it is that they didn't do any good research to ask any black women. Like, only people they interviewed were Tasty Steve, Majin Obama. I think they interviewed somebody else. I think they interviewed what's his name? I can't think of his name. And then they mentioned Katana Prime in there. Okay, they mentioned a lot of people. They mentioned only males. Like, only. Like, there were no mentions of any females at all in this article. And that was, like, a big issue because, like, okay, there are plenty of women at FGC.
Which is strange for Polygon because you want to talk about a SJW publication?
Yeah.
Polygon is the poster child for that.
Yeah, and they just kind of, like, they flubbed that, though.
That was baffling to me.
Because, like, I read the whole thing. I'm like, they only really talked to Tasty Steve and Imagine Obama.
Like, wow.
Like, I get it. They're prominent figures in their respective communities with the FGC, but there are plenty of women, plenty of black women in the FGC, too. Like, they could have asked Cuddlecore. I don't know why she wasn't asked anything or an interview. Like, that was weird.
Who knows what the perspective would have been. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I think it was just
a huge oversight.
An incredibly huge oversight by Polygon. Who would have thought?
Of all the people.
Because we all know that Polygon is known for their expert journalism and impeccable record of things that are flawless that they have said ever.
I love how you said that with such impeccable, like, tenacity.
I mean, they've never put out a bad article. I mean, I still remember the part where Dragon Crowns was bad because girls had titties and ass. What a stellar piece that was.
Yeah.
Or the part where they were like, Anita Sarkeesian has a point.
I mean, she did, but she had a poor way of, like, supporting her argument.
Not the Polygon.
Like, that was the problem I had with her. God, we're still saying her name to this day.
Polygon is a publication with good ideas and bad intentions.
Not bad intentions. Wait. The intentions come first, though.
I know.
Like, so you said they up front, like, we going this from malice.
We want to breed malice and we want clicks.
Yeah, the clicks part is important.
We want rage clicks. That's basically them.
Not rage clicks.
We want the money. Let's get that straight. Polygon did this for the money.
I mean, what was this article supposed to do? Erasing black women out of the conversation. Like, I think that didn't really do a service to the article itself. It just showed that they try to say that the FGC is male dominated only, and the only people that actually give a crap about are men, cisgender men.
Which is unfair. Very unfair.
It's unfair, but it spoke so highly to how the FGC operates anyway.
As you will often hear, how the FGC is so inclusive. The FGC is so tolerant.
We only care about two clean buttons. If you could press buttons, we don't care.
If you can play a game, we don't care.
Yeah, which is the biggest lie I've ever heard.
Like, yeah, we have a few bad apples, but it's okay. You just gotta have to come in with some thick skin.
Not bad apples. That's not like police officers. All right, so we've come to the end of the road of this episode, and now we get to do our pop-offs, which is pretty much us talking about whatever it makes us angry with fighting games or the FGC or whatever.
We'll let you have this one first, since the last one I went first.
Mostly mine was strictly about the Polygon article because I felt like it's so bad. Like, it came from a place where it seemed like the only people he knew was the people he saw on stream most of the time. Like, I see Imagine Obama on this stream. I see Tasty on this stream. Like, okay, you must be the people that are really prominent. When there are so many women, black women in the FGC that contribute. How do you not interview Cuddlecore? That's like the biggest, like, oof I've ever seen. Like, it just feels like when there's black issues involved, they always leave out women. All the time. And it's just it's unfortunate, especially this week, has been pretty tough for black women. And I don't know, it's just unfortunate. We even had that in the FGC too. So that's my pop off. I don't have a whole bunch.
Wow, I just made my little pop off a little insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
Well, you want me to go first?
I mean, yeah, all right. I mean, my pop off is like, you know what? I kind of just really hate console exclusive fighting games.
Oh,
man.
yes. Oh, that's gotta go. That's gotta go.
I really hope this next gen doesn't do stuff like that. Like, this generation was tough for fighting games in that regard.
Yeah, it was like either you had to get this console.
Fighting games I wanted to play are on 2 different consoles.
Yep. And it's like you had to put one or the other. And then the fact that Killer Instinct had a smaller pool, which meant it was a smaller community, which means the lifespan is going to be smaller.
Killer Instinct deserved better.
It did. Oh, God.
And this isn't the first time we've talked about this. TVC deserved better.
TVC deserves so much better than what it got. God, the game would have been God. Like,
game is great.
It's still good. If it got ported to today on the Switch, that would be such a win.
It would. They'd make so much money. They just gotta want the money. Like, Tatsunoko really just has to have the want for that kind of money.
Yeah, that licensing gonna be it's gonna be a bitch, pretty much.
Yeah, but it pays for itself.
It would. Especially, I don't think Tatsunoko is like a company that's like really pushing out a lot of anime right now. Anyway,
right? This is easy money.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here you go, take our license and use our characters.
Even if they licensed it for a year, I think it would pay off.
It would. Give us some online. Man, imagine that game with like rollback netcode.
Beautiful.
Oh, that game be so godlike.
Even with the Switch's garbage infrastructure, that'd be godlike.
Oh, that'd be so good. And then you could just like play it, get your Ethernet cable, get your fight stick ready.
So I hope this next generation with fighting games kind of calms that down, because there's so many good fighting games out there that I think deserve a better chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think Arsis is gonna hear that. They just gonna keep working on the PlayStation and
they go like whatever.
I mean, I guess Xbox can play it too, whatever. Even though Xbox does deserve some of these games too.
They do.
I think I've outgrown this idea that these are my games and we get to have them. I think I've just gotten to the point. I want more people to play games.
Yeah.
I think the more people who can, the better.
It helps everybody.
Right, it does. I mean, I understand exclusive have to exist, but stuff like fighting games, multiplayer games like that, come on.
Yeah, it's better if they're multi-system.
Give them a better chance. I mean, we're already getting into the era of crossplay, and that's
we're slowly
amazing.
getting there. We're slowly getting there. Like,
so now, let's just get cross-platform games.
We had it in the last gen. Mm-hmm. PS3 and Xbox 360 gen. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't have a whole bunch of like exclusive games for like. The only like exclusive game we really have at PS3 was like the really like niche Japanese games.
And let's just face it, that's because nobody plays Xbox in Japan.
Yeah, like Aquapaza.
Oh, nobody was checking for that anyway, so it's fine.
That game's weird. That was a weird game.
Yeah, all I did was throw books in it, but
I kind of still want to play it sometimes.
I have not thought about that game until you said something.
I thought about the Valkyrie girl I liked. That was my main. She was cute. She had armor on her moves and stuff. That was weird for me. I never played characters with armor on their moves, so it was like weird.
Now you understand.
I got it. When I played her, like, I can tank through things?
Exactly.
I can walk through this attack?
You can disrespect your surroundings.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
So, yeah, that's my pop-off. Come on. I want to be able to play games with people on Xbox so we can just shake hands.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
They're filthy Xbox players.
I know.
All right, so that wraps up the quarantine episode of FGCism. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for being supported. Thanks for holding out for us for these last couple of months. We haven't been able to really record. Hopefully we'll be able to record more frequently. Please go to our website at www.rushdownradio.net for new content, because we always post something new. Follow us on our socials. You can find all that on our information on our website. And yeah, we'll see you next episode.